one condition false from the necessary and sufficient conditions for deadlock. So those conditions were mutual exclusion, hold and wait, then no preemption and circular wait. So make any one of these conditions false, then you can prevent the deadlock. And the second method is deadlock avoidance. For deadlock avoidance, we have started with Banker's algorithm. So yesterday we have seen this algorithm. So you have one assignment based on this in operating system laboratory, and this is the part of theory also. So I'm presenting it to you. We have to implement this Banker's algorithm for deadlock avoidance. So input, we need number of processes, we represented by small n, then number of resources, small n, then maximum resources. It shows maximum number of available resources for each type. If we have 3 types of resources, then for each type, how many resources are available to the system. So that is maximum resources. Then max array is maximum max matrix actually. It is the maximum demand of each process in the system. It is 2-dimensional array of size n by m. Number of processes requesting or expecting those many resources of each type, which is max matrix. Then allocation matrix is before entering into the system, process already have already allocated with some resources. So those resources means number of resources of each type which are currently allocated to each process is called allocation matrix. So this we have as an input available. Number of processes, number of resources, a maximum number in each type of resource, maximum demand of each process, and allocated resources for each process. And what we have to calculate is need of each process. Need is calculated as a simple matrix subtraction, max minus allocation, maximum requirement of that process minus currently allocated resources. We'll get a need for each process. Then we have to calculate allocated resources. So we have suppose total 10, 5, 7 resources, and out of that number of resources which are allocated for each process, that we subtract and we get work or available. That is available minus allocated number of resources. And what we want, we have to check whether the system is in safe state. And if system is in safe state, that means we should have a safe sequence in which sequence processes should execute so that there won't be any deadlock. And we can say that system is in a safe state if we can generate one or more safe sequences. So we can also have multiple safe sequences. And if system is in safe state and while execution, if process request for additional resource, should we grant that request? So that algorithm is called resource request for the process, or resource request grant algorithm. So we are going to study that algorithm also. So first algorithm means check whether the system is in safe state. So these are the inputs. We have 5 processes, value of n is 5, P0 to P4. Then M is 3, type of resources, 3 types of resources, say A, B, C, and instance, maximum resource of each type. So we have 10 instances of type A, 5 instances of type B, and 7 instances of type C. So it is 10, 5, 7. The same example we have seen in previous lecture. So this is allocation. P0 has 0, 1 and 0. 0 of type A, 1 instance of type B, and 0 instance of type C. And its maximum requirement is 753. So subtracting max minus allocation, we can find need for P0. And we need to find out available resources so to of each type. So to find available resources, we add these resources which are allocated for each process column wise. So 3 plus 2 plus 2, so total 7, and maximum is 10. Out of 10, 7 resources are already allocated to one of these processes. So 10 minus 7, that is 3. 3 is available resource. So using these inputs, we can calculate need and available. So This is the need. We calculated need with subtracting max minus allocation 753 minus 010, that is 743. Same thing for P1, P2, P3, P4. We calculate need matrix, and from adding this in column wise 7, 2 and 5. So that is allocated. Allocated resources are 7, 2 and 5, and maximum resources are 10, 5, 7. So 10, 5, 7 minus 7 to 5 will give you work or available. This is an array of size M. M is number of type of resources. 3, 3, 2. So current available resources are 3 of type A, 3 of type B, and 2 resources of type C. Okay. Now we have to check whether in which sequence processes should execute. So all the processes can execute and we get a safe sequence and system is in a safe state. So for that, the algorithm is called safe state algorithm. So this is called safety algorithm. We have seen it in previous session. Work and finish, we need these two vectors or arrays of size M and N. M is number of resource, N is number of processes. So work is nothing but available. In our case, it is 332. And finish is, we have to check whether all processes completed their execution or not. So that we need a binary array or Boolean array of number of processes. So it is initially false for all processes. None of the process finished its execution. And we have to find I such that finish is false, means the process is not yet completed and the requirement of that process is less than available or work. If such process is there, then we have to release the resources allocated to the process. We assume that the process finished its execution and releasing the resources. So work is equal to work plus allocation, and we have to make finish true. That is the third state. And we have to check whether finish is true for all the processes, then generate the safe sequence and the system is in safe state. If no, then that is the system is in a deadlock state. So for our case, wait a minute. In our case, I think it is visible. Is it visible? So currently work is 332. Work is equal to available. Finish is false for all the processes. This is step 1 of safety algorithm, initialization. Then for I is equal to 0, first we'll check what is need of 0th process. It is 743. 743. First condition is a finish of 0 is false. Yes, it is false. And need should be less than work. But in this case, 743 is greater than 332. So this condition is false. So P0 has to wait. Then for I is equal to 1, need is 122. Need finish of 1 is false. Need is less than work. Yes, this condition is true. So P1 should enter into the safe sequence. And what we have to do, P1 finished its execution. So we have to make this finish of 1 true. So make finish of 1 true and add whatever the allocation, that is 200 into work. Work is 332. So new work will be, work is equal to work plus allocation. So new work will be 532. So now system has 5 resources of type A, 3 resources of type B, and 2 resources of type C. And we'll continue with our algorithm. For I is equal to 2, just check whether need is less than work. Need is 600, which is greater than work. So finish 2 is false, P2 has to wait. So P1 is waiting, P2 is also waiting. Then we'll check whether for I is equal to 0, finish of 3 is false and need is less than work. So I3 can finish its execution. So P3 is in a SAFE sequence. Add work plus allocation. New work is 743 and we can make it true, true. Check for I is equal to 4. It is again need is less than work. So P4 can complete the execution. We can calculate new work is equal to work plus allocation, that is 743 plus 002, and new work is 745, and make this a flag true. We again start the loop for I is equal to 0 and then for I is equal to 2, true, 2, sorry. So now SAFE sequence is finish of I is true for all the processes. So system is in SAFE state, and the SAFE sequence is P1, P3, P4, P0, P2. Can we have one more SAFE sequence? Can we have one more sequence such that processes will execute and system is in a SAFE state? Another sequence of execution. We have this sequence P1, P3, P4, P0, P2. If system executes in this sequence, system will be in a SAFE state. All processes will finish its execution. So can we have one more SAFE sequence? Yes. It depends upon how you make your system iterable. Means whether you, for whenever you get the process which is less than need is less than available and execute that process, again you are starting with 0 or you are continuing with current index. Instead of I plus plus, again you are making it I is equal to 0. So in that case, if P1, P3, here first process executes, it is 532. Again, if you start with P0, you cannot execute this. You have already executed this. You cannot execute this. You can execute this. So P3, after P3 executed, it is 743. So again, you can start with P0. So now P0 need is 743 and available is 743. So you can execute P0. So now the sequence can be P1, sorry, P0, it is not P0, P1, P3 and P0, then P3, P4. So you can have one more subsequence. Are you getting? You can have multiple subsequences.
Ma'am, please can you explain this another sequence again once?
Okay. So in this case, we have available 332 and this is a need. Current value of I is equal to 0. So we start with P0. P0 cannot execute, P0 has to wait. Okay. Because its need is greater than available. So we'll go to P1. P1 is 122, need finish is 0 and need is less than available. So we can execute P1. So P1 is executed first and its allocation, that is 200, will be added to need. Sorry, available 332. So current available is 532. Again, instead of incrementing value of I to 2, I can be initialized to 0 again. We can break that loop and start the loop again from I is equal to 0. So from P1, we'll go back to P0 and check whether can we satisfy request of P0. Now we have 532 resources available and requirement is 743. Still we are not able to grant the request of P1, P0. So P0 has to wait. Again we'll check P1. P1 finish is true. So no need to check whether P1 we can satisfy the request or not. It is already executed. Then we'll go for P2. P2 requirement is 600 and available is 532. We cannot grant this request of P2. So we'll check, can we grant request of P3? The requirement is 011 and available is 532. So yes, we can grant request of P3. So after P1, next process going to execute is P3. So sequence is P1 and P3. And we add allocation, that is, what is allocation? 211 into available 532. So it will be 5 plus 2, that is 7, 2, 3 plus 1, that is 4, and 2 plus 1, that is 3. So 2, 1, 1, which is added into this available matrix. Now it is 7, 4, 3. And finish of 3 is also true. So now we have P0 is waiting, P2 is waiting, P1 and P3 executed. So in after P3, instead of incrementing I to P4, we can again break the loop and start from P0. And now available is 743 and requirement of P0 is 743. So we can grant this request. It is if need is less than or equal to. It is not only less than, it is less than or equal to available. So yes, need is less than and equal to, it is equal to available. So we can grant now request of P0. So the sequence will be P1, P3, P0. We can execute P0. Then we can, after executing P0, 743 plus 010. So it will be 753. Now check, can we grant the request of P2? Yes, it is now 753 and requirement is 600. So P2 can be executed. So after P0, we can execute P2 and then P4. So new step sequence can be P1, P3, P0, P2, P4. You can check whether this sequence is possible and is it uh, result into finish is equal to true for all processes, and finally we should get these resources free 10, 5, 7 if we execute in this new sequence P1, P3, P0, P2, P4. Or we can also have P1, P3, P0, P4, P2. So there can be multiple step sequences possible to make the system safe. It is not necessary that there should be only one step sequence. What is a safe sequence? The sequence in which processes should execute so that all processes complete their execution. There won't be any deadlock. That is called safe sequence. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, but like in the exam, we have to follow this technique or the simple one.
Simple
Like,
one. You have to follow simple one. If they ask you for multiple step sequence, then you can follow, try to find out if there exists any multiple step sequence. Otherwise, you have to go with incrementing I, normal way. This is the normal way of execution.
okay, ma'am, got it.
Now, this is the first part of our algorithm. First, we have checked whether the current situation is in a control. Now, currently, system is in a safe state. Now, what happened is, while executing, a process asked for a resource. Current system is in a safe state. We have generated safe sequence, and now one process is requesting one more resource. So in that case, we have to check after allocating that resource whether the system will be in a safe state. So that is called resource request grant algorithm or resource request algorithm. For example, in this current situation, if P0, if process P1 asks for new request, one resource of A and two resources of type C. So this is the request. What will happen if process P1 request one additional instance of resource type A and two instances of resource type C? So whether to grant this request or not. For that, we have to check whether the system will be in a safe state after allocating that or granting that request. So whenever there is a new request, first step is check whether the request is less than or equal to need. Need of that process. We know what is the need of P1, and first condition is request should not be more than need. Before entering into the system, process already said that it need these many maximum resources, and we already allocated few resources to that process, and it is need is something. So request should not be greater than need. Request should always be less than need of that particular process. So if this condition is true, then we'll go to the next condition. Then we have to check whether the request is less than equal to available. Available means current available resources to the system. If currently available resources have 332 and the request is less than the available resources, then we can proceed, otherwise we have to stop. In first case, we have to raise an error saying that process exceeds maximum claim. In second case, we have to exit and mention that resources are not available. If request is less than need, if request is less than available, then we have to assume that, or we have to pretend that the request is granted for that particular process. And then what we have to change, we granted that request, assuming that the request is granted. So request we have to add into the allocation. We granted that request means we allocated requested resources to that particular process. So that request we have to add into the allocation, and those request we have to subtract from need. So we allocated those many resources, so need will reduce, need minus request, and available number of resources will be reduced with that request. So we have to change these three. This is available array, allocation matrix, and need matrix will change. And again we have to run safe state algorithm to check whether the system is in safe state with granting that request. So in this case, the request is 102. We'll check whether 102 is less than need. Need of P1 is 122. So yes, request is less than need. So this condition is true. So we go to the next condition. We have to check whether request is less than available. Available is 332 and request is 102. So request is less than available. I'll show you the previous case. We are here. This is the original state where the process is in a safe state. We can generate safe sequence. So system is in a safe state. Here P1 now request for 102. So 102 is less than or equal to need. Yes, it is less than equal to need. Need is 122 and available is 332 and 102 is less than 332. So we can grant that request, assume that the request is granted, and we have to check whether the system is in a safe state. Now can you check whether the system is in a safe state and find out at least one safe sequence? You have to run safety algorithm to check whether the system is in a safe state. So here we assume that the request is granted. So we have to add that request into the allocation, and the allocation will change to 302. Then we have to subtract request from available. Available was 332 minus 102. So it will be 230. And we have to subtract request from need. Need was 122 minus 102. So need is now 020. So what will be the safe sequence for this new scenario? Run safety algorithm. Check which process make to array work and finish. Work is equal to available, that is 230. Finish is 000 for all the processes or false, and work is equal to available, which is equal to what is current work? 230. So which is a process whose finish is 0 and whose finish is 0 and need is less than work?
P1.
Yes, P1. P1 requirement is 020 and we have 230. So again, P1 can execute first. So what is new work?
250.
New work is current work, that is 230 plus this allocation 302. So 230 plus 302. So we have to add this allocation allocated to work. So it is 532 new work, and then we'll proceed. 530 is or this need, P2 need is not less than 530, so go for P3. Yes, P3 can execute. P3 can execute, and the allocation of P3 211 will be added to current available. It is 743. We can execute P4. Requirement is 002. So yes, it can be satisfied for P4. So it was 743 plus
Ma'am,
002. Yes.
my board is not visible.
Oh, is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
So first we'll grant request of P1, and its allocation will be added to the work. That will be new work 532. Then we'll check whether can we satisfy request of P2. No, because P2 requirement is 600. We didn't have six resources of type A. So we will increment value of I. P3 requirement of P3 is 011. So we can grant this request. We add available allocation of P3, that is 211, to available, that is 532, and new available will be 743. Now for P4 requirement is 431. So yes, we can grant this request of P3 P4, and we have to add allocation, that is 002 to available, that will be 745. And then we can check whether we'll loop again, check whether can we grant request of P0 743. We have 745. So next process will be executed at P0 and then P2. So we'll get the same SAPE sequence, in this case P1, P3, P4, P0 and P2. So if you are getting a SAPE sequence, you can say that system is in a SAPE state, and you can grant that request. The request is granted. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the execution, step-by-step execution of request algorithm. We'll first check for I is equal to 0. P0 has to wait for I is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are getting the SAPE sequence P1, P3, P4, P0, P2. But this is not the end. Now the system is in a SAPE state. You are getting SAPE sequence. So you can say that immediately grant the request of P1. So request is granted and new scene will be, this will be new scenario after granting the request. You'll make this fix. This is allocation, need and available. Now with this case, if so, now this slide is visible. Initially P1 requested 102 resources while execution, and we have checked system will be in a safe state, and we granted that request. So request is granted. Now say P4. P4 has requested 330. 3 resources of type A, 3 resources of type B, and 0 resources of type C. Will you able to grant this request of P4? Yes or no?
No.
What is the reason?
Request is greater than available.
So first case is we have to check whether the request is less than need. Yes, it is less than need. Need is 431 and you are requesting 330. Request is less than need. So first condition is true. Then you move towards second condition. Second condition, you will check whether the request is less than available. Available resources are 230, but request is not less than available. So resources are not available. You can make that comment. So you cannot grant that request. Like this. Second condition is false. Request is less than available. No. So since resources are not available, request cannot be granted. Okay. Now check for third condition. If P0 is requesting 020 resources, will you able to grant this? P0 is requesting 020.
Need to find the safety sequence.
Check whether you can find the safety sequence. First two conditions are true. Request is less than need. Yes. Hmm? Request is less than need. So first condition is true. Request is less than available. Yes. Request is less than available. So second condition is true. Now you have to check whether the request is can be granted or not. So find the safe sequence. What is work? First thing is you will assume that this request is granted. So if this request is granted, what we have to do? We have to add that request to allocation. So for P0, allocation will be 010 plus 200, 020, sorry. So it will be 030. That is allocation for P0. And need of P0 is need minus request. Need is 743 minus 020. So what is need? Need for P0, 7 minus 0, that is 7. Then 4 minus 2 is 2 and 3. And we have to subtract request from available. So 230 available is 230 minus what is the request? 020. So current available is 210. So that will be current available. And check, now you have 210 resources. Will you able to grant request of any process? So what is need of P0? 723. You cannot grant 723 with available resources 210. So P0 has to wait. Then you will check, can you grant request of P1? Request of P1 is 020. And what we have? 210. So you cannot grant the request of P1. So you go to P2. Now P0 is waiting, P1 is also waiting. You'll go for P2. Requirement is 600, available is 210. You cannot grant. Go to P3. Requirement is 011. Requirement is 011 and available is 210. You cannot grant because you need one resource of type C and you didn't have one resource. You have 0 resources of type C. So you cannot grant request of P3 also. So you can go for P4. So P1 is waiting, P2 is waiting, P3 is waiting. You'll go for P4. Requirement is 431 and available is 210. So you cannot grant request of P4 also. So for, execute this algorithm 2-3 times and still if you didn't find any subsequence, you have to halt. And what you have to display? As system will be in unsafe state after granting the request cannot be granted. You have to roll back and come back to original sequence like this. You'll come back to this original sequence. This request granted can be rolled back. Are you getting? So you cannot grant this request not because request is it is less than need or it is greater than need or greater than available. You cannot grant that request because that request will lead to unsafe state or a deadlock state and none of the process will able to finish. That's why request cannot be granted. For this condition, we have seen this resource allocation graph. Can you write it in the form of Banker's algorithm? Wait a minute. Can you write this in the form of matrices or Banker's algorithm and check whether the system is in safe state or not? You have three processes P1, P2, P3, three resources R1, R2, R3. How to write it in a Banker's algorithm form? The slide is visible, right? Can you see this resource allocation graph slide? Okay. You have to write it in the form of matrices. So we have three resources R1, R2, R3 and processes P1, P2, P3. So max minus this is maximum and allocation. So it is maximum requirement of P1. What is maximum requirement of P1? Can with this resource allocation graph, can you write this matrix? Maximum requirement of P1. How many resources of R1 P1 required?
1.
1. R2 1 and R3 0. And what is allocation for P1? We have allocated R1. R2 is allocated to P1. So allocation is R1. Requirement is one resource of type R1, one resource is of type R2. But allocation is only R2. It is still waiting for R1. So if you calculate need is max minus allocation. So it will be 110. This is max. Allocation is 010. R1, R2, R3. Allocation. This is max. And need will be max minus allocation. So it will require one resource of R1, no of R2, no none of R3. So you can depict this in the form of matrices and check whether you can get a safe sequence. For example, for P2, what is maximum requirement of P2? One resource of R1, one resource of R2, one resource of R3. So requirement is 1, 1, 1 maximum. And allocation is R1 and R2 is allocated and waiting for R3. So R1 and R2 is allocated and it's waiting for R3. So requirement is 0, 0, 1. It requires 1 R3. And for P3 requires 1 R3 and it is already allocated with 1 R3. So requirement is 0, 0, 0. Right? And total resources, how many maximum resources we have? R1, R2, R3. Maximum we have 1 of type R1, 2 instances of R2 and 1 instance of R3. And out of 1 to 1, allocated are 1 to 1. So all resources are allocated. So available is 0, 0, 0. What is current available number of resources? 0, 0, 0. So which process satisfies this requirement? Need should be less than or equal to available. So P3 can execute first and release the resource which it held, that is R3. So now R3 is available. So check which process can executed later after P3 whose requirement is need is less than equal to available P2. So after P3, P2 can execute and release these two resources which it has, that is one of P1 and one of P2. So it is releasing this one and one. So now can we grant request of P1? Yes, then P1 can execute. So we are getting safe sequence. So you can say that system is in a safe state with this current scenario. But now if P3 want one more resource of, or in this case, this is current scenario, we didn't have any resource available, and now P1, P3 requested one more instance of R3, sorry, R2. It asked for one more resource of R2. So check whether the system will be in a safe state after granting this request. So this is our second scenario. P3 is requesting one more resource of R2. So first step is check whether this request is less than need. Request is less than need. No, a request is less than, yes, need is 000. Oh, it need one more resources. Suppose it requires one resource of R1 and one resource of R2, and allocation is 010, and this is the need. It is requesting one resource of R2. So check whether this request is less than need, less than equal to need. Yes. Check whether this request is less than available, but available resources are 000. No, none of the resources available, and a request is greater than available, so this request cannot be granted. Similarly, check for this case. Draw the matrices and
Ma'am,
check whether
ma'am, but available is 1 to 1, na?
no. See how to calculate available. Available was 1 to 1 after execution of P3. So in this case, total number of resources of one of type R1. Total resources are one of type R1. Then two resources of type R2 and one resource of type R3. And allocated is 1 to 1. Already allocated all the resources. So we didn't have any resource available. All the resources are already allocated to the processes. No resources available. So if this process requests for one resource from R2, then even if it needs that resource, the request cannot be granted as we didn't have available resources. Available resources are 000.
Okay, ma'am. So it had these many resources 1 to 1, but we did the column addition and found that all resources are allocated.
Yes,
So subtraction is 0. So there is no available.
correct. No available resources to grant any request. But without requesting this resource, system was in safe state. Now check for this. The system is in safe state or not. P4 can execute, then P4 release this resource. This can be allocated. Even P1 can execute, P2 can execute. So there is no deadlock. This is resources are available. I have added one problem in a Moodle page for practice. Go try to